Hello! In the following video, you will be introduced to the concept of teaching strategies for opening a lesson, and you will be given some examples that you can adapt to the context of EFL teaching in rural areas. Teaching English as a second or foreign language is not as easy as many people think. Teachers, in general, have to deal with a variety of challenges during lessons. That is why teaching strategies are an essential tool for successful learning. Teaching strategies refer to the structures, systems, methods, procedures, and processes that a teacher uses during instruction. These can be used across curricular areas to support the learning of students. It is important to know that there are teaching strategies for each stage of the lesson according to the model you use for planning. However, most of them are divided into three parts, such as the PPP approach or the pre-while-post approach. That is why teachers always need strategies for opening a lesson, strategies for developing a lesson, and strategies for closing a lesson. It is also necessary to have a variety of different strategies that address the needs of students with diverse backgrounds, learning styles, and abilities. All of these challenges must be faced from the beginning of a lesson. That is crucial. The most important part of a lesson occurs during the first 5 minutes. If the activity engages students right away, you know there will be enough sparks to engage students for the rest of the lesson. That is why teachers must aim for and carefully select the right strategies for opening a lesson. These strategies are essential because they help you grab your students' attention, focus their attention on the learning aims of the lesson, help students feel relaxed, set a positive mood for learning, and activate background knowledge. Some strategies for opening a lesson are the KWL chart, brainstorming, grabbing a goal, and the entry ticket. And there are under 1,000 more available on the internet. Feel free to find out more. Today, our example will be the entry ticket. As you know, a ticket is a printed piece of paper that gives you the right to go into a theater. Now, students will need one to get into your class. The entry ticket is an effective strategy for monitoring student learning and introducing or reviewing instruction. This strategy gets students working as soon as they enter the classroom, increasing instruction time because they are given entry tickets as they arrive at the door, they follow the instructions, and complete the task immediately. Besides, you don't need to worry about the size of your class or the level of English of your students, since it is an activity that can be done with small or large classes, and the only requirement is that they were present the previous class. So now that you have the explanation of this strategy, let's put it into action. First, set up. Familiarize students with the routine for entering the classroom and be sure to place the entry ticket in the same position each day. As students will know in advance that they will need to answer the entry ticket question, you will avoid confusion or disorder. Second, create. Decide what you would like to review. If your students learned about animals the previous lesson, you can write any of the following questions on the entry ticket. How many animals do you remember from last lesson? What animals can live in the city? What animals can live in the jungle? These questions can be open-ended or closed-ended, or you can have alternatives or matching activities. It depends on how you think your students will recall the content the best. Third, time. Set a specific amount of time for students to answer the entry ticket question. Think about how many minutes your students will use when answering the questions. After that, reconvene the class when time is up and discuss the answers. Strategies are techniques teachers use to help students learn. There are different strategies that teachers can use in order to address their classroom diversity. These strategies are important because they bridge the transition from yesterday's lesson to today's lesson, check for understanding of a homework assignment, review key content, terms, concepts, or skills presented or practiced during the week, get students to focus their thinking on a specific consideration of that day's learning, and finally, encourage students to learn and build momentum until the end of the lesson. Now it's your turn. Think about your next class and select an effective teaching strategy to open your lesson. That's all. Thanks for watching.